You know, that is also something that why preparation is for. You have to be prepared on everything, and maybe when you compare with the previous AFCON, we have a team in our group, Angola, that is quite different type of tactic than normal other African teams. So we have to be prepared for that, and we will try to do it during the preparation. So we can't focus only on one way of playing. We need to be able to adapt in some situations, and that was something we didn't have in the previous AFCON in our first game against Mali. Suddenly we had to fight, and we couldn't. But we learned very quickly that AFCON, because the second game and the third game and so on and so on, we learned that at some moments in the game we can play our game, but we have to do something else. And this is why preparation is, and we start on the 8th, so we have 10 days to do it. But we will be ready, and again, it's very important that you're not focused only on one way of playing, because it can be the opponent, it can be the game. That in the game that you have to change something.
Coach, just something out of personal interest. I mean, I'm looking at all the attack that you personally get on social media, even whether it's on print or whatever. How does then a Hugo Broos stays afloat and speak to what he believes in when the whole group of people are attacking you personally?
Well, I have to say, you have to thank you for saying me that, because I didn't know. So you know how I feel and what I think about social media. I don't follow it, not at all. And I think if I should read those things, that I should laugh, because those are people who are suddenly think that they are important, and in social media they can say what they want. It's really nonsense. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't affect me at all. But thank you that you mentioned it.
Good afternoon, Coach. Karabo Pasha, freelance. Coach, when you first started here, there was a lot of players that you didn't know, and of course you started building your side gradually. When you look at a Bafana Bafana player, Coach, what are the boxes that needs to be ticked for you to call them? What makes a Bafana Bafana player in your presence, and you having been the head coach for the last couple of years?
You know, there is, for every position, first of all, we have a profile of what a Bafana Bafana player has to be. This is the start. What is that profile? Profile is quality. That's the first important thing. If you don't have quality, you don't come to Bafana Bafana. The mentality, very important. So when we go and see games, we not only look at the let's say football technical things, but also what is the mentality of the guy. He get a kick and he's down, and 5 minutes before he starts again, then you have to think, oh, that's not the guy. And then there's the third step. When he comes to us, how does he behave in the group? Because I think I said it already before. If you have one guy with a bad mentality in your group, it's done. It's done. So that is first of all. And then for every position, there is also a profile. So let's take an example. Fullbacks have to be back, but also offensively strong. So we have for every position that profile. And with that profile, we choose the players. And it can be that the player has the quality, certainly, but they don't have the mentality. And it happened already in the future that I don't call players anymore because they don't have the right mentality. And and then you start building up. And I think we did a good job in the last 3-4 years. And I think it's the only way where you can build a very good team. And it's amazing when you see the guys also today, when you see the guys arriving here. It's like a bunch of friends who see each other again after 1 month. As I said that already. Also, those are not colleagues. Those are 23 friends who are arriving, and you see the young boys also immediately, they are in the group, and that is very important.
John Mark from the Citizen newspaper. Coach, just to ask you, obviously at the last AFCON you went in maybe with nobody quite knowing what to expect as kind of underdogs. Do you expect this time to have the teams will sort of maybe target you? Also, because you qualified for the World Cup, is there a different experience when you are one of the favourites, maybe, or one of the favourites to do well?
You know, both are very important, and I think for us it will be a little bit different now to start the next AFCON, because, let's say it like this: we are South Africa now, and it was different than 2 years ago. We were a team of South Africa, and yeah, with the performances we did and the results we had, I think also the opponents will start the game and prepare the game a little bit different than 2 years ago, and that is for us now the next step we have to make. If we can make that step now in the next AFCON and doing the same results as the last one, so I think then the progression we made in those last 2-3 years is enormously, and that can help us also to do it very good in the World Cup. So I shouldn't like to play an AFCON. Let's talk about the worst case. After the group stage, you can come back to South Africa. That should be very bad. So we have to try to avoid it, and I'm confident, because I know this group, the quality is there, the mentality is there. It can always happen, but this is not something I would expect. Or it should be, for me, honestly, a big surprise if after the 3 games we should have to come back to South Africa. But I know, and we are conscious about that the approach will be different now from the other teams.
Good afternoon, Coach. My name is Tim Kulia from Teta FM. Coach, on Thursday when you made your squad announcement, you mentioned Masindi coming in from Kiduzi, and Kiduzi did not play much in the two World Cup games to qualify. And Ashley Cupido, I assume Makaba is in for Ashley Cupido. Both of the players did not really get game time. Are they, like, you are impressed with the two? Will they get game time? The 2 players.
That's why they are here. Huh? So I explained a few minutes ago how we choose a player to come to Bafana Bafana. But now here, this is for them the next step. So they made the first step. The first step is to be chosen. So that is done. Now is the next step. Okay, we will see and watch them very carefully, how they behave on training, how they behave in the group. Maybe, but that depends of for example, how will the game be on Saturday, and whatever. Maybe they will get a few minutes, matter of speaking, of playtime. So, and that's why they are here. So every player, certainly young players like they come here with no experience of international level. You can't avoid that. Otherwise, you have to take always players with much experience. But for them, it's also sometimes the first time. So we have to watch them now and then see how good they are, and if they reach the level we want. And then for the future, okay, we will see.
Coach, are you a question from News from Africa over here, coach, by the cameras? Coach, you say that most of your squad for the AFCON is already decided, but there's probably a small percentage that still is up for grabs. Coach, which positions and areas on the field would you say are still up for grabs for players before you finally put up a rubber stamp on the players that will be going out tomorrow?
I think, and you will see it maybe in the next weeks when we have to announce our 50 or 55 or whatever list of players for AFCON. So I think there is, for the moment, no position anymore of which we can say, oh, yeah, there we need that, or there it should be a little bit more stronger or whatever. I think in those lists of 52 players or 50 players, we have everything we need, except there are players who are not so experienced on international level, and there are who are very experienced in the international level. But you can never stop watching and looking and searching for players. You can never stop. Even now, I'm happy with that list. Still, we will go on and try to find maybe a better player for a certain position than that we had for the moment. But I think the work is done now, today, but it never stops. We will go on. Yeah. As long as I'm here, I will go on to find better players.
Yes, that's two questions. Yeah, Bush, maybe here.
Yeah.
Yes. You've just spoken about international experience. I was looking at the under 17 yesterday reaching the knockout phase and the World Cup. The under 20 also went to the knockout phase as well. And I'm reminded of someone like Geleso Mahalawa. He was at the under 20 World Cup with Tebu for Bule has just came back. How important is for these guys so that even if they are new here at Bafana, but they also come from this experience of having played in the World Cup?
It's important, and I always said that international experience, and for them, those who were already on a World Cup or an AFCON with minus 20 or minus 17, they have already that. But you have to continue, and that's why I think we talked about it maybe last press conference or the press conference before. That now you have a basic. You have minus 17 who is in the World Cup. You have minus 20 who won AFCON, who was in the World Cup. But now the next step has to be done. And if you don't go on working with those guys, all that talent will be lost in as quick as you can think. So we have to go on working with them and give them their chances in the next months and years for Bafana Bafana. Because before they are not with Bafana Bafana, and before they are not on training with Bafana, we will not know if they can make the next step. So the advance we have maybe now on the other years before is that we have now a pool of players who have already an international experience on youth level. So it's up to us now to go on working with them in the next months already and the next years, and then I think the future for Bafana Bafana is very bright, because there is talent. But you have to be careful also that you don't call those players too soon. I can't call for example Smith or Campbell with the national team now and go to AFCON. This is too soon. I can kill those guys, and I don't want to do it because the talent is there. So it's up to them and not to us, first of all, to give them the chances in the next months, also to have that experience on international level, a higher level, and therefore maybe it should be very important to create a minus 23 team. And every FIFA break there is, organize also games for those minus 23 teams and give them that experience. that should make the process progressing quicker than ever. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do, I think.
Last question.
Good afternoon. Coach, you mentioned that you're not viewing this game as a friendly game for you. It's an important game and a must-win game. Are there any specific areas of improvement you're looking at fine-tuning against Zambia?
Improvements. I think the most important thing for Saturday is that you play a good game, that we play on our level, like we did in the previous years. When did we play our last friendly game? I don't remember, but it's quite a long time. So all the other games were qualifiers. So then the concentration and focus is easier to do than before a friendly game, and that's why I started this press conference by saying, for me, this is not a friendly game. I want to see again Bafana Bafana what I saw the last months and years. A team who has a good mentality, who want to win the game, who going for every ball, for every meter, and that is something what I want to see tomorrow also. What can we improve? Yeah, you can always improve, but I don't think that you take a friendly game to improve something. Not at this moment. This is a game to confirm again how good we are and what a good team we are. And that confirmation I want to see Saturday.